coming into our mat with our two pillows right here to support our knees, bottoms of our feet together, laying down on our mat. In a really supported position and just enjoying that support, feeling our knees. And what this does is it completely relaxes our psoas muscle, that innermost muscle called the muscle of the soul sometimes, that gets really tight and wound up when we're in stress or in fight or flight or freeze mode. It just super tight. So this position just helps it to relax. It tells our body and our mind, you're safe, you're supported, and just gives us a chance to come back down to zero as we begin our day, as we begin our practice. And just find your breath and begin to lengthen out your inhale. Lengthen out your exhale. Coming into the present moment. So for today's practice, we're going to begin with the end in mind. So we're starting here and we're going to end here. And the thing I like to invite into our practice today is the idea of intention, setting an intention for our practice, for our day. We could set one for the year, for the month, for the week, for the moment. Just setting an intention is all about how I'm going to show up. How I'm going to show up on my mat today, how I'm going to show up in my life today. So just bringing awareness to your body, do a quick body scan and just noticing where you might be holding on to anything, or it might be tight, or just noticing anything and just bringing awareness to that. So it might be said that intention is living in more awareness, bringing more awareness to what's happening, not only in the outer world, in what's happening in our inner world. It is a scientific fact that people who show up who are more defensive and more easily angered and kind of, or we run into those kinds of people in our lives, or they're just this is kind of how they go through life, kind of angry and defensive, and the world's against me. They statistically have a lot more run-ins with other people, more fights, more arguments, more disagreements, because that's the energy, that's the intention that they bring into their experience. And so if that's true, the opposite can also be true, that if we set an intention, then no matter what happens, I'll show up in fill in the blank. Then that's how, and we hold that intention, then more positive and more good will come to us, because that's how we are showing up, and we attract to us what we bring to the situation. So if we bring anger, we attract anger, because that if we bring love and understanding, compassion to ourselves and others, then that's what we bring to the situation. That's what we get. So that was a long explanation as we're lying here on our mat. With your next inhale, bring your knees together, feet on the floor, and then pull your knees gently in toward your chest. And just hug them there. And we can move these pillows out of the way. We'll bring them back. But for now, just move them out of the way and rock side to side. And as you're rocking, I'm going to pick an intention card for us to focus our practice on, and we'll just practice having an intention and working with it. So these are just my color cards. I love to play with them. I'm going to pick one. And today it's green. Revitalize your nervous system. So that's our intention for our practice today. We will revitalize our nervous system. So that sounds like we're going to move a little bit. So with that, let's awaken our spine. You grab your thighs underneath, and we're just going to begin to roll back and forth. And you can use your legs for a little leverage. And we'll exhale as we go back. Inhale on our way up. And just kind of playfully enjoying waking up the spine, waking up the nervous system connectors. So exhale, inhale, and now practice when we come up on the inhale, crossing an ankle. Because we're gonna do this 3 more times, and on our 3rd or 4th one, come all the way up onto our feet. So get your momentum going, and when you're ready, come up onto your feet right here. Good job. And just keep your feet there and hands or fingers on the mat as we slowly lift our hips with our legs crossed. Nice job. Just into a really gentle forward fold that's kind of intense because our legs are crossed. And take a moment to move your weight onto the front foot and straighten that leg. And lift your heart, lift your spine, and lengthen it out. Oh, and just enjoy feeling all those stretches. Big inhale, and then exhale to release it and put your weight in your back foot and begin to lengthen the back leg. Just kind of let the front leg hang loose and lengthen the spine, lengthen out the heart, lengthen out that back leg, and release. So we're going to do something a little playful here with our front foot. We're going to go, how do I explain this? We're going to walk in that direction. So my front foot is right, so I'm going to walk left. And I'm going to keep walking up on my toes all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, spinning until my opposite foot is in front. There we are. So I'm going to put your weight in your front foot, which is now the other side, and lengthen that leg, lengthen your spine. Inhale, and then exhale, deeper into that stretch. It might feel totally different. This is a different side, and just enjoy straightening out that front leg. And then release on your exhale and put your weight into your back leg and straighten that back leg out. Oh, yes, and feel that. And breathe into it, lengthen your spine, lengthen your leg, and breathe into it. Woo! Awakening those hips and hamstrings, legs back. And then just put a gentle bend in both knees and bring your feet each under your hip. Just like we're on a pair of skis, and we're just going to gently roll up, rounding up the spine, taking time, awakening that nervous system until the crown of our head comes up to the sky, and then just reaching out with our fingertips, inhaling all the way up, and hands to heart center. So taking a moment, settle in, adjusting clothes, whatever feels good in this moment, and bringing our mind and our attention back to our intention of revitalizing the nervous system. And that means our brain and the way it connects to our spine and all the nerves coming out to all our different body parts, just awakening that communication system that speaks to our body. And when I hear nervous system, I also think about being nervous and those gut feelings and our nerves and our emotions. So revitalizing that, cleaning it out, bringing newness and new awareness to that. So with that, inhale, sweep the hands up, spreading the arms wide, opening the ribs, fingertips touch, and then exhale, hands to heart. And we'll do that 2 more times, just sweeping up, taking the time to reach, lift, filling our lungs, exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale up. And exhale, this time dive down, flat back, tail goes out. And letting it go with a gentle smile on our face. Inhaling to flat back. And then exhale to step left foot back, drop the knee, point the toe, inhale to look forward. And then exhale to settle in. Just letting those hips awaken. And then begin to crawl up to right here. So knee right over ankle. Back leg might be extended. You might choose to come up on the knee depending on how the hips feel, how the knee feels. Just leaning into those hips. And my right knee's forward. I'm going to bring my right arm forward. My left hand on my left hip. Finding balance, finding breath. And then with our left hand, just pull that left hip forward just a little bit, square out the hips. And lengthen this right femur out, knee pulling away from that hip on the right side. Lengthening out. Inhale, sweep both hands up. And exhale, both hands down to the feet. Frame that foot and then sweep the right open into a twist. Twisting that spine, twisting out old toxins, awakening, and squeezing out the old so that when we untwist, then new lubrication will just fill up our spine. It will just start moving up our spine. More spinal fluid will invigorate that spine. Big inhale. Exhale, frame the foot, tuck the back toe and step to plank. There it is, nice. Inhale to lean forward and exhale all the way down. Inhale, point your toes, use those big toes as anchors. Inhale up and exhale down, just part way, waking up the lower back, lengthening the spine. One more time, inhale up. And exhale down, keeping your hands here, just push gently into child's pose, all the way back. Using your hands to press your hips back, lengthening out the side bodies, putting space between our ribs, and taking our hips away from our ribs, and finding breath. And just bringing awareness to the spine, to the neck, to the head. And just feeling that spinal fluid begin to move up the spine into our brain and circulate. And the most amazing thing about that is when we begin to do that, move it faster than it normally moves with exercise, with yoga, and even with certain kinds of breathing. It's really powerful to do that with an intention. So our intention is to awaken and energize the nervous system. And you could set any intention because it moves the spinal fluid, it awakens the brain, it just moves us into a new space on every level. So setting an intention of what new space we're moving into. Energizing is today. That helps us move forward. So on your next inhale, roll up, tuck your toes and scroll your hips back into down dog. First down dog of the day. Just enjoying that. Lengthening the spine, knees nice and soft, really finding that length and space. And then inhale up to the toes and just gently walk forward to a forward fold. Just moving gently. Exhale into that forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Lengthen out the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And then drive through the feet. Sweep it up all the way. Inhale, bringing in all the new. And exhale, bring it into our heart. Just enjoying what that feels like. And noticing if there's any spinning or moving around. That's just our fluid and energy moving in our brains from our spinal column. Stuff is moving. Yay. Inhale, sweep it up. Bringing in all the new. Exhale, dive down. Letting go of the old. Exhale it out. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back. Drop the knee and toe. And then inhale, look forward. Just allowing time to feel in the hips, feel wherever we're feeling this today, and enjoying that as we make our way up. Here, left leg forward, right or left leg, left arm forward, right hand on the hip. And we're just going to move this right hip forward as we pull our left hip back. We want to lengthen that femur and keep the knee over the ankle. So just finding more space, finding length. And as we breathe, inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, frame your foot. And inhale to sweep the left hand up into twist. Again, pulling the belly in, rotating those left ribs up to the sky and really twisting through the lower spine, waking it up, energizing, moving out the old with our exhale, moving in the new with our inhale. Big inhale. Exhale to plant the hand and step into plank. Nice, just find that plank. Nice and strong, belly in, hips and ribs pulling toward each other. Big inhale to roll forward and exhale all the way down. Nice. This time, we're going to take our hands out in front of us, keeping our neck neutral. So just looking just a few inches ahead, and we're going to inhale and lift up. Really engaging the core, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs, and exhale down, release. 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale down. And on this third one, option to lift our feet at the same time. And hold and breathe, keep breathing. Point the toes, lift, inhale, and exhale, hands under the shoulders and scroll to child's pose. And this time, let's just walk our hands back by our ankles. You can just rest them there. You can grab your heels or even put them inside your heels. And just bring awareness back to breath. Back to our back, our spine, feeling it awaken. And with your next inhale, just feel your breath as if it starts at your tailbone. And as you inhale, feel the breath coming up the spine, all the way up until it swirls around in our brain and then exhales back down the spine and out the tailbone. And envision that 2 more times. Just air is moving up, swirling around and exhaling out, back down. And 1 more time. And with that, release your hands. Roll up onto all fours, tuck the toes, and scroll to down dog. Nice. Again, nice knees bent so that we have that space in our back, nice and long. Pulling the belly in, head is neutral. And then inhale, this time up on our toes and take your hips back. Like we're going to shoot ourselves forward Look between your thumbs and take 2 steps to forward fold. 1, 2. There we are. Drop the head, exhale, inhale to flat back. Exhale down, let it go. And inhale, envision that breath sweeping up the spine, swirling in our brains, and then let it go back down the spine and out the tailbone. Woo, letting things settle. Just bringing awareness back to the body, back to our thoughts and what's happening, settling our minds, energizing, feeling that energizing happening, and then let our eyes open, sweep it up, big inhale, bring in all that good, exhale out the old. Inhale to flat back, lengthening the spine, opening up. Exhale, step left foot back in crescent lunge, keeping our knees up this time and planting the feet, sweep up on your next inhale to crescent. Nice. So again, pulling the left hip forward, right hip back, but keeping that right femur long. Nice. Big inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale into twist. So right hand goes back, left hand forward, pulling these ribs toward the back. And then just mindful of that back leg, just lengthening, make it strong. From here, nice strong core. We're going to take this left hand and plant it on the floor in a twist. There it is. Nice. And just feeling that twist. Feeling where we feel it, breathing into those spaces. Big inhale. Exhale to plank. Inhale to move forward. Exhale all the way down. Nice. Inhale to take your right hand forward. Left hand back. Left toes to the sky. Nice. So option to inhale and lift that right hand up. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs. Knees are close together. And exhale down. So we could keep that going 2 more times. Option here, keeping our knees right under our hips so we don't want them to splay out, to grab that left foot, and when we inhale, to push that foot against the hand and lift. And breathe, inhale, and exhale, release. 1 more time, pushing the foot against the hand. Inhale, exhale, and release. Both hands under the shoulders. Take it to child's pose and let it go. This time, bend your elbows and gently holding our elbows with our fingers. Again, that spinal breathing in through the tailbone and up. Swirling, cleaning out anything left in the brain and the mind, and exhaling it down the spine and out the tailbone. 2 more times. Beautiful. On your next inhale, roll it up to all fours and scroll it back to down dog. Nice. This time, maybe finding that space in our back, maybe our legs can straighten out, heels toward the ground, even just a little more. Maybe there's more space there. Feel it out, see what it feels like. And then we're going to lift up on our toes, keeping that space in our back. Take the hips back. Look to your hands, and we can step or we can hop. Forward fold, release. Exhale, inhale to flat back. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, sweep it up. Bringing in all the new. Exhale, hands to heart. And just let things settle. Finding stillness in our minds. Setting our minds back on that intention of energizing the nervous system and just noticing how we feel different compared to the beginning of our practice, how things are changing. And let's sweep it up, flutter your eyes open, big inhale and dive down. Inhale to flat back, lengthening out. Finding more space, right foot steps back, planting those back toes into crescent, and then sweep up when you're ready. Inhale, exhale, hands to twist out. So opposite hand in front, and take these right ribs and pull them toward the back of the room, maintaining length, strength, balance. Back leg strong. Inhale up. Oh, and then exhale, right hand down. There we go, into twist. Finding breath, finding length in our spine, twisting out the old, wringing it out. Big inhale, exhale to plank. You guessed it, inhale forward, exhale all the way down. Inhale, left hand up overhead, right hand down. So opposite of what we did last time, right toe up. And inhale to lift that left hand. Neutral neck, exhale down. And then option to grab that foot. And one side might feel easier and different than the other side. So we'll just play with that, keeping the right knee right under that right hip so it doesn't splay out. Option to lift, pressing your foot into that hand. And release one more time. Exhale, gently release, hands under shoulders, scroll into child's pose. Leave your hands right here in a karate chop. So pinkies and sides of the palms, pressing into the ground, opening up through the upper back, shoulder blades pulling apart, awakening the upper spine. Using that breath. 2 more times. Inhale up the spine. One more breath. Rolling up. Awakening the spine, more fluid in between each vertebra, and scroll to down dog. Ah, feels so good. Nice job. So when we hop to our hands, the goal is to land light as air, which I didn't do last time. The key is, for me, is keeping my arms straight so they don't collapse when I jump forward, and also landing on my toes. So inhale up on your toes, take your hips way back, bend your knees so chest is almost on thighs, looking forward, and just hop between your hands onto your toes, arms straight when you're ready. There we go. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale down and sweep it up. Nice. Exhale, hands to heart. And settle in right here. And just feeling what that spine feels like. Your back, shoulders, head, and then the rest of your body, just noticing and feeling more energized, more awakened, kind of cleaned out, sprayed down. And last time, sweep the arms open, flutter eyes open, arms out, eyes open, and dive down. It must be Friday. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold and bend your knees and come onto your toes. Right here, we're gonna go back to that roll that we did in the beginning. So we'll just set ourselves down and roll back and forth. Exhale back, inhale up. Just do it a few more times. Playing with this. And then when you're ready, we'll come to right here. Just doing a little boat pose. Like calves and back parallel with the ground, pulling the belly in, lifting the heart. And when you're ready, just let that hands go. Lifting, lifting, maybe even straightening. Keep breathing, keep lifting. One more big breath. And exhale to let it go. Nice. Whew. And then gently take it on the ground with our legs up in the air. Beautiful. One more thing for our core, since we're just awakening our nervous system, all those nerves come out from the front side of the spine. So we'll just awaken them with our deep core muscles. So with that, as if we have a big orange or a small grapefruit between our chin and our chest. So in other words, we don't want our chin super tucked and we don't want it lifted up too high. So just imagine that fruit right there. Keeping it there, we're gonna lift our shoulders up off the floor and reach our hands. They'll be about a foot off the floor, and engage the core, really squeezing all the muscles around the spine. And then take your right leg and lower it till it's a foot off the floor. Holding, breathing, engaging all those muscles from our pelvic floor all the way up. And inhale to lift that foot and drop the left. Exhale. And now breathe. Breathe, holding, holding. Inhale to lift that leg. Give it one more lift and exhale, knees in. Nicely done. And just enjoy that letting go, that release. Gently let the left leg go and cross the right ankle over to figure four. And there's a spot right there above our knee, between the knee and the muscle, that our ankle can just kind of rest, and a spot in our ankle. So just kind of working with a spot that feels comfortable, and then we'll lift it all toward us. Reach our right hand through and grab our thigh. And then for a little more stretch, flex your feet and pull this in, even as this right elbow presses the knee out. Just enjoying that stretch. Breathing through it, letting go. Hands release as this knee that's crossed just continues to cross over. Hands out to a T and just let those legs drop over to the left. And then gently take your chin away from those legs and looking over the other shoulder. And bringing our breath awareness back to that spine, breathing where we breathe up our spine. Swirl around and let it go. And do that a couple of times. And then gently bringing both knees back into our chest. Setting the right foot on the floor, left ankle crosses over. And again, find the spot that feels comfortable on this side. And when you're ready, bring that all left arm, feet, threads the needle, left elbow can pushes against that knee, and then we flex our feet and pull it all in. And just noticing what's releasing. And breathing into those spaces as they expand, as our awareness of those spaces expands. Feeling energized, awakened. Release the hands and let that knee just cross all the way over. Hands out to a T for support, and just let those legs keep going all the way over. And then take your chin in the other direction. If that feels good. And then again, bringing that breath to the spine. Gently unwrapping your legs. Bring the knees into the chest for the last time. And on this inhale, bring your forehead as if it's going to touch our knees. Big inhale up. Really bring your knees in, forehead up. And then release, feet to the floor. Now's the time to end where we began. Reaching for those pillows. Putting them right there where when we put our feet together, they'll just support our knees. And just notice how that the hips, the hip flexors, the psoas muscle that's deep in there just lets go. Completely supported, completely safe. And just bringing some awareness to the idea that this whole practice was driven by our color green to revitalize your nervous system. And how, as we went through our practice, that's what we focused on. We focused on that, on our spine, on our core, on our breathing, and taking our intention to those spaces. And how that affected your practice today. And noticing that it could have been any intention, and that's where we would have put our focus. That's where we would have put our intention. We could have done all the same movements and put our intention, say, in our feet or our hands, and it would have been a completely different experience. So just a body learning opportunity to notice that where we put our intention and our attention is what shows up, is what we notice, is what we experience. And so living with intention is an act of choosing what we're going to put our focus on, what we're going to put our attention and our energy on. It's been said the person with the most intention has the most power in a situation, power in the good sense, power over themselves. So with those thoughts, we're going to settle in and stay here for Shavasana. Taking a big inhale up the spine, let it just fill and clear out any last cobwebs or little dark corners or pieces of dust in our mind and brain, and then exhale it out down through the tailbone and let the breath go. And let the body just take over the breathing. As we bring our mind to stillness. And for our meditation today, as a practice, often, well, I'll say it this way, many ways to say this. Often, when we're not aware, we are moving and living, acting and speaking out of fear. So, the goal of awakening is to acknowledge that fear, to look at it, and to choose something else. So, as we lay here in Shavasana, think of a fear that's been present, kind of ruminating, percolating in there. Think of that fear. And then set an intention for how you will live this day today in a new space that's not this fear. We're not hiding the fear, and we're not pushing it away. We're shining light on it. And then we're choosing something different. So what would that look like for you today? And bring that word or those words to your focus, to your intention. See it. Begin to feel it in your body. Feeling energized and bringing that new intention for your day into your experience, feeling it in your body, seeing it in your mind. And you may even choose to say it out loud to really imprint it. Or whisper it. Log it in. Maybe it's a phrase, maybe it's a word or a set of words. That is how I am going to show up today. Regardless of what happens around, that's how I will show up. Bringing your knees together, feet on the floor. You can just move those pillows out of the way. We'll take a hand under your leg or both hands. Option to take one arm under your neck and head and roll it up. Come into seated. Hands to prayer at our heart. And again, just finding that intention and even taking a moment to look out over your day and see yourself showing up in that new way. And how amazing it feels to show up in that way instead of the old way. Thank you so much for showing up today. That was really fun. Namaste.